Okay, welcome back to another update video with my transition. All I can say is I haven't really been experiencing at this point much changes, like physical changes with the HRT. At this point, it doesn't seem like I'm getting like those puberty kind of changes anymore. The only real changes has been from like that weight gain and fluctuation and just getting everything stable. That's what's doing it. Because what I've done, how I was saying I was doing those exercises, I stopped. When I stopped doing those exercises, my body, because I wasn't burning those calories, my body ended up filling in within the tummy area, and my breasts did some filling in. I really haven't been gaining weight. I've been fluctuating around, it's more stable around 141 pounds. But because I've been not feeling good, I'll explain that a little bit, but I haven't been feeling good, and that caused me to kind of had a weird drop because I wasn't able to eat as much as I was. But every time I kept getting checked out and my weight checked, it was been around 141. But when I checked out home, it had dropped and gone back up. So around 138, 39 to 141 pounds. But I've been struggling to gain past that, and I'm not sure why my body is not gaining anymore. When I took my measurements, my waist has been around 32 inches, my underbust 32, band size, and my bust has been around 41. So I've been measuring 32I based on those measurements. Been having a hard time getting back to where I was, where my breasts were an IJ, that in between. I've been trying to get back there, but I've been struggling to gain any more weight and get that back. But overall, where my weight's been, for some reason I've been feeling better since those parts have filled in. As I mentioned in the last video, the newest bras I got have been a big help with how I feel too. And besides that, braces are going good, weight's being stable. At this point, I'm just trying to figure out how to continue to gain and try to get myself to be able to eat more, to be able to eat more calories to get there. But what has happened as a post-op trans woman, I'm going to talk about this. I don't hear anyone out there, like who else is trans, who's had gender affirming surgery, talk about this ever. I just don't see anybody or hear anybody talk about this thing I'm going to talk about. I was having an issue. I went into my primary care physician It's nothing like serious, as I explained. Just for an annual check, had him check some bumps that were I noticed around the upper part of my urethra. There was some bumps around that would look kind of like skin tags. But he was saying it was candyloma, a form of genital warts caused by intercourse. And he wanted me to check in with, he said, the gender clinic is how he put it. The doctor that's prescribing my HRT, to see if there's anything that can be done about it. I seen her. She says it doesn't look like that. And that's probably what it isn't. And she's having me see the surgeon that's done my surgery to check things further out. But when I look at them, they kind of look like skin tags. That sometimes can happen when you have the surgery where the stitches were. That can happen. So that's what it looks like. But when I was seeing her, I had her check something else. Because last month I was having some discharge. And this month I was having some discharge, like vaginal discharge, to come off onto my dilator whenever I was dilating. It was like a mucousy yellow color. And at times some like white stuff on the tip of the dilator would come off. And I was having some discomfort and a little bit of like burning sensation. That spot where I had the issue last year, that laceration, from the very back to the vaginal entrance and labia on the right side, it was having that burning sensation and whatnot. And sometimes stinging. And at my appointment, she had me do a vaginal swab to get the test done to see what it could be. And the test results came back as BV, it's bacterial vaginosis. That's what it came back as. So I was stuck on an antibiotic, one of the stronger ones, for 7 days. This is day 2 being off of it now. That didn't do fun things to my body. That's caused being on that antibiotic. Was having a hard time eating, was making me get fuller faster, struggling to eat, wasn't feeling good in my stomach, bowels all not working properly and whatnot, and just trying to get better from that. And so, yeah, that happened. We don't know what caused it. All I know is it has happened. And yes, as a post-op trans woman, it can happen. Just like in cis women, it can happen. Which bacterial vaginosis is an imbalance in the bacteria that's naturally in the vaginal canal. Test results said that it was positive abnormal. Some people, that's what their normal is. Some people, it isn't. For me, because like if you're having that kind of discharge, it's probably not normal. But some people having a higher amount can be, but usually it isn't. So I was like, that happened. And what came to my mind was like how some people say that when we have the surgery, that the vaginal canal isn't actually functional and it can't do this, and all these different things people say. I'm like, yes and no. It's not the same as a cis woman's how it functions, but it does function. So I'm like, if it's non-functioning, how come it's like I've been experienced like it's more functional and like pleasures and sensations and some moisture, not like in cis women, but enough there to say that there is. And that bacteria is that natural bacteria that's in vaginal canals is there. I had the test done and it came back positive for that. Um, so hopefully, being off of it now, everything gets back to normal. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that because it's something important to talk about because no one really talks about these intimate details of female anatomy, especially in post-op trans women when it comes to the functionality, like the more in depth of the functionality and what can happen. So, if you haven't had the surgery, or if you're planning on having surgery, or if you have had the surgery, it doesn't really matter which version you've had. I'm just stating that this can happen to you. And to be aware for the signs. Because what clued me in what was happening was last month I went to the bathroom, pulled down my underwear, and there was discharge in my underwear. That was a yellowish color, like a thick yellow color. So I was like, I'm going to keep an eye on this. If it doesn't get better, to get checked out. I didn't have, like after that day, I didn't have any discharge coming out until I dilated, like 4 days later or something like that. Then I was like, when I cleaned off my dilator, when I wiped it clean before fully washing it, it was a yellowish mucus color and some white stuff on the tip of the dilator. That kind of clued me in. So when I messaged my doctor, I included that in with stuff. Then a few days later after that, had more discharge, and just been having discharge since. And the discharge is getting less. So, yeah, the best way I can describe how it looked was like a thick yellow. It was like looked clear on the dilator, but when I wiped it off, the collection of it onto the wipe was a yellowish color, like a yellowish kind of tannish, more towards the yellowish color. So that clued me in that something was happening. So when the test came back, that's what it came back for. It was a positive abnormal, and I can prove it like right here with the picture to say that yes, this is happening. So, yeah, that's the test results. Everything else came back negative except for that. So just be aware that that can happen, and you'd be put on a really strong antibiotic. I think it's like metronidazole, or however you pronounce that, is what I was put on. 500 milligrams twice a day. One pill twice a day for 7 days. So, yeah. Other than that, I can show where my body looks like and where it's at now, with everything being stable. And that should be like the last thing I have to really update. So I can kind of see. Let's do this. Let's see here. So pretty much that's what my body's looking like as of today. So, and I'm happy where my body's at. I'm more comfortable that things have filled in. Cause like last month after that hormone cycle, what it does with my body, and things dropped off before I went back up to normal, and being on that prescription, it affected things, but everything's filling back in. So to where it was before I had this issue. And yeah. So other than that, until my next video, whenever that will be, please comment, rate, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And please, if you have any additional questions I didn't answer, you can comment them and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or possibly do a video on it. So if you want to know something, or want to know more about something that I haven't talked about, please comment below and I'll see what I can do about making a video or just respond. Until then, boop, boop.